Hi again. So we have seen what is vibe coding. Now I just want to quickly give where it excels, where it lacks, and as a person, where you should use and where you should not use, because it depends on the person who is using that as well. Okay. So in every project, right, I mean in most of the project you have front end and then the back end. Front end is basically like what you see here. Yeah, what you see here. The back end is where the place where it stores. I mean there are multiple layers. So for example, I can just open an image and I can show you where it has the database and where it stores all the business logics, the functional thing, and all those things. Let's take these. I wish I have a nice visual to explain to you. No, I mean these guys are explaining just the backend language and front end language, but that's not what I mean. Okay, this should be the best one. So if we see here, yeah, if you see here, you can see front end, and then here you have the back end. In this back end is where is the database, and here it's the application server. What does this application server does is, for example, let's say you are building a e-commerce shop, okay, where people are adding a discount code that should detect a $10 of a $100 order. Once it detects the $10 out of $100 order, and then let's say the coupon per person, let's say Mark can use this coupon only once in his lifetime. This is a logic. This logic, how you can restrict is, you can't restrict in front end, because you need to check against the user ID whether this user has used this coupon or not, and whether, and also for example you want to check whether the coupon has expired or not. And then the third, maybe you want to check whether this coupon can be applicable in a certain category or a certain product. All these things are called logics. Yeah, these logics are mostly checked here. They use different functions, blah blah blah. Yeah, and then they do these logics, then they allow the front end to happen. Then finally the data, the updated data gets stored here. For example, after the user did the checkout, he used a single coupon, and then the $10 has been applied in his order. All those things will be saved in the backend. So in the vibe coding space, I mean for the past 1.5 years, front end has evolved a lot. The front end things you wanted to do, it's doing fantastically. So for example, let's say, can you add um, can you add a mountain like background with some animations? When you say like this kind of things, it does this thing. Okay, of course it is doing back and all those things, but that's where the point which I want to share, it depends on who you are. So for example, you are a designer, you are a marketer, and you come from arts and some background, you may be very good with on prompting the front end change on how you want it to change. Okay, I think it's applied some background, but I don't see the mountain. Oh, it's still working. So you as the person can prompt for like those kind of creative things. Let's say you are a back-end person. I'm not even speaking for them, because they know better than us on these. They know those logics. When the coding agents, when they make or update an enhancement, these agents, I mean, yeah, when these agents, when they make this adjustment, right, this the backend people will understand, because they know the logic of it, whether this has applied properly. I mean, they can do the reviewer job. Let's say I'm a front-end developer. Can I do the reviewer of the backend work? If I have some knowledge, yes. But if I have no idea what is backend itself, what is the function itself, and all those things, I wouldn't know. But of course, I can use my creative mind. I can tell that, hey, this is my flow chart. Okay, I need to check this. It need to check that. Only if this happens, then you need to do this. If we can provide these exact sequential steps for it to do the backend changes or these backend functions, then it can do the job properly. And of course you will be like testing it, you will be like keep asking you to change this, change that. You will figure it out. I mean, the agent would be figured it out and it will be able to get what you wanted. But that's where the situation happens. You are let's assume you are a product manager, or you are a front-end designer who was trying to make these, or let's say you are somebody who is like who make physical products. You have a certain amount of time. Would you be spending your time on hustling with this, trying to like fix this, fix that, and then it replies you with some jargons, and then you will be like wondering what is this jargon? Then you will need to like learn this, learn that. It's nice. The journey of trying to make these things is nice, especially when you have ample of time. Let's say if you're a student or something, you are like figuring out all these things, then it is really nice. But you are in a time sensitive way, and then you wanted to release this, or you wanted to build this into, and then you want to give it to your users, you want to give it to your client. It's best, I mean, if you have ample of time, then it's okay. But let's say if you have a short time, then that's where you need to find a balance here. Okay, so what I mean by that is, let me, okay, let's I don't have a picture. Okay, let's just go back to this picture. So as a start, you will start with this front end. Yeah, you will use this vibe coding to build the front end, and eventually all this not say eventually, like ideally nowadays all these vibe coding tools mostly use these 2-3 famous database providers. They use these database providers, and then they use this vibe coding tool to build the functionalities and then connect with the backend things. Okay, there is something called functions. The functions also is stored part of these backend players, and then they handle the thing. So in the vibe coding tool, you only do the coding, and then these guys, they handle all the server, blah blah blah. But the vibe coding tool also provides you to like host or like run your website, the front end website. So it will do. So going back to the point of like how you can handle this is, maybe you start with the front end. Okay, once you're fully confident all these things are good, until that you use managed backend services. Or let's say, for example, okay, so for example, what we provide, for example, Tradely, what we provide is that we provide all these marketplace or commerce engines and all those things, and we also provide these APIs as well. So you can use these APIs. What does this, where does the API stands here? The API stands here, okay, before it touches the front end. These APIs will take care of, I mean, behind the API, of course, you store the data, and Tradely will store the data. Tradely will handle the functions and all those things. So all those things is handled by them. So where you want to show your bespoke thing, which is your design, you use this vibe coding tools to manage the front end. Where you may not be strong, you use some other solution. So for example, let's say you want just an auth solution. You could use Tradely Auth. Let's say if you want to just use Tradely only for the emailing thing, to like blast an email to your users, or to, for example, to measure how people are like behaving in your website, you use just the Tradely Analytics. So you can, like an a la carte, you can pick and choose what you wanted, where you may not have the strong thing, or where you do not want it to have your business strength or your value proposition or your advantage in the business, advantage of your business, maybe you hold it. The other things which is like not your consumers doesn't see, your users doesn't see, you use like third-party solutions like this. Okay, so this is how you, but let's say if you are somebody's your backend, I'm not speaking for them, they may directly try to do this, and then they may use the front end, which is may not be their knowledge. They use the vibe coding tool to do it, so it balances out. Yeah, so I hope I have explained. Oh yeah, there is, from a cost perspective also, I need to share this thing. When you're continuing to use these web coding tools, right, you need to always rely on the tokens. You need to always rely, because Tokens are not like a subscription fee. It's not like something that is predictable where you pay like a $20, $50, $100. It's like, I mean, there is no provider which is providing $20 unlimited things. Yeah, of course they provide some open source model, which on that still has like limitation. But the point here is there is always a limitation. I mean, the control of managing the solution is not with you. Comparing before, for example, when you use a subscription based tools, they provide the interface for you to manage the websites and all those things. So for example, I mean, like let's see, this is open. Uh, so we used to have our own editor, which is like you can customize the website using the editor and all those things. Here there is no tokens. All the building blocks are there, and you will use it to customize however you want it. So there is nothing called token. Yeah, but as much as the customization you wanted into the front end, like we see here, as much as the prompt you give, it consumes your tokens. Yeah, so yeah, this is one limitation. And another limitation, well, yeah, when sometimes when things goes wrong, let's say your business is already running and then you want immediate fix, sometimes the models or the agent harnesses, they do their job better, they solve it quickly, but sometimes you may not be able to solve it. You may face this bottleneck. That's a second sort of like a cons factor. But it's up to your philosophy of how you approach things. So you always push only the stable thing to the publish only the stable thing to the users after you tested it. That's why we even have like this dev environment and live environment. And then what are the factors? And another thing is that, so for example, when you work with the um, it's not a big issue, but just a small thing is like when you just work in your laptop or something, when you close your laptop, and then sometimes, because sometimes happens for my team members, they say that, oh, there is an issue here. If it is available in your mobile, then it is really like easy. So for example, for Tradely and all, we provide this wipe coding tool available in the mobile itself. I mean, like, I don't know how to show you here. App Store. So the wipe coding tool is available in the Tradely itself. So if you wanted to use it, you can use it like direct. No, it's not here. It's I think it's not the screenshot is not here. So you can directly use it in the mobile itself. So you can just quickly ask it to do some changes and all those things. Yeah. That's it. If you have any question, please post it in the comment. I'm happy to answer.